So you know what I realized? I was putting time limits on God. And if I'm honest, it had to be revealed to me that that's not true faith. I'm going to tell you, but go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then we'll get into it. But go ahead and go first, okay? Go. So I'm a planning grandbaby, and I think I told you that before, that I love to set up a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. This is what I want to do for the year. In 6 months, I'm going to do. And I kind of got G-checked. God was like, excuse me, you remember in Jeremiah 29:11 when I said, "For I have a plan for you"? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, so how come every time I look down, you got a plan? Which is cool, because in Proverbs 16, he told us, go ahead and, plan. But he gets to finalize it. He's like, but the thing about it is that you not only plan what you want, you plan when you want to receive it. And then you put me in a box because you tell me this is when I'm expecting it. The audacity. That's pretty much what I was like, ooh, okay. I'm sorry, God. Because I didn't even realize that I was applying my faith in limitation. Let me give you an example. I had this and I'll start a campaign for my life. You don't even understand. I was like, the next 10 years. It's something about reaching certain milestones in your life that you look back and you like, okay, that was cute. But guess what? The next 10 years of my life is going to be. And I made it where I was like the decade of conquering and things that I'm going to do. And I was super duper excited about it. And I'm going to prayer and I'm writing things down because, write the vision, make it plain kind of thing. And so super excited until I got tapped on the shoulder. Holy Spirit was like, oh, he looked over my shoulder like, oh, that looks good. When you say you want it? And I was like, this is all going to happen within 10 years. And then he kind of poked me on where I got that from. I love watching people's biography and letting them tell their stories and their testimonies. And I came across someone that I really admire, Toby Nwingwe. He's a Christian rapper. His wife, it's a whole thing. It's given, right? And so he was in the NFL at first. And then he got injured and some things happened. So he kind of started a nonprofit and life went on and so forth. And then he finally got recognized by the motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. And Eric was like, you got a gift in rapping, sir. He was like, yeah, I just be playing around. He was like, no, you got a gift in rapping. The way you put words together and make them rhyme, that's not play. You got a gift, sir. So he was like, okay. And he said he went to God and he was like, God, I'll give this the best 10 years that I have. And if it don't pop within that point, then I'll let it go and I'm done. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then he went on to say that within the 10 years, closer to the 10 years, that's when all the things started happening. Literally at this point in juncture in life, Toby has literally done Coachella. When you think of Coachella, who you thinking about? Beyonce, right? How somebody who just so happened to roll into rapping was able to produce and hone in on his gift, make it a skill enough that you headline Coachella? So I didn't know the Coachella part at the time that I went ahead and tried to copy and paste real quick. I was like, ooh, okay. And see, that's the problem at looking at somebody else's plan that God has for their life and looking at their ingredients and going, oh, okay. And then you try to copy and paste their blueprint in a customized plan that God has specifically for you. So I took that 10-year thing and I was like, okay, because because I ain't going to do myself dirty. Let me let you in on my thoughts. My thought was, okay, what's a time frame that just seems like I know God's going to come through within that time for the way that my heart is looking at these things that I want to do? I was like, 10 years. That's I know you're going to come through sooner, right? But that should be you should see it within 10 years. And what's the time frame that I could commit in my heart that, man, if somebody else was able to do it, then I could push myself too. Because honestly, 10 years is too long. But when you look at how much time has already passed in life, you're like, dang, 10 years go by super quick. 5 years go by super quick. Like, it's not as long as we perceive it to be. So that was me stretching my commitment to something, making sure that I don't go ahead and quit on something too early. Because if Toby can do it in 10 years, then I can. God was like, I ain't gonna hold you. Ain't no time frame. And what he showed me is the reason why we should not put time frames on stuff is because we put ourselves and him in a box. If we plan something too far out and it arrives too early, it scares us. Well, I wasn't expecting, I just wanted to go on a few dates, and I wasn't expecting to meet my spouse at this point in my life. I just wanted something part-time real quick. I didn't know they was going to put me in management. I was just looking around the car dealership. I didn't know that y'all had a sale and I was going to sign a contract today. So when we plan things far off and God is like, no, that's literally like around the corner, it puts us in a state of a knee-jerk reaction. And then on the other side, if we plan something too soon, like, okay, I'm gonna put this in place, I'm gonna save this is a maximum 6 months to a year. And then 1 year later, it hasn't arrived yet. We get frustrated. We irritated. God, what's up? Like, y'all got backlog in the prayer request department? Like, what's up? You see what I'm saying? Like, we start to feel some kind of way. So I got a sense of wisdom. We can't plan the outcome. We can only plan what we do while we wait. So what do you do while you wait? You hone the thing that God puts in your heart. And the difference between me and Toby had a happenstance rollover situation into rapping. He really wanted football. He really wanted to be the next Ray Lewis, he said. I can't apply the same perspective to my particular gift. The gift that God gave me is encouragement. I can speak things into people's spirit. God uses me to go ahead and heal souls. I already know what I was supposed to do. I literally am created to take people out of their emotional pit and direct them to the palace. And let's go. By the time that I finish talking to you, you hear God through me. And there's something in you that's like, yo, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I need to go ahead and start doing some stuff after listening to her. And so I have big dreams about that. I got things that I want to do and how I want this to look. And I want to actually have something called Shriver's University. And I want people to know that they were created to multiply. And there's just some things, merch alert, there's just some things that I know I want to do. And so God was like, so you can't apply the thing that you know for sure. You can't apply the thing that you like, yo, I've been working on this like literally my whole life. I already known that this is what it was. I started taking professional corporate jobs that made me a helper. I know what I am. I'm a helper. I'm an encourager. I'm this, that, and the third. He was like, so then why would you apply something you knew your whole life, 10 years, to something that somebody just happened to be like, I'll take a stab at it. Even me trying to measure it the same was off. I've known this since a little girl. He had somebody tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, you have a gift. So me doing 10 years and being excited, that's for someone who had to develop a new skill. I've been developing this. I've been using this. I've been about this life. You understand? And so I said, going forward, what I'm going to do, no more planning, time frames. That's God's business. What I do in the meantime is my business. So my challenge to you, if you were anything like me, bruh, scratch off those time frames and literally just leave it open-ended. God, I desire this. And have a list of desires, heart desires, and then have actionables that you're doing. Because I shouldn't see a list, you shouldn't see a list. That you got things written down, but ain't no actionables. You can't have that you want to be the world's greatest mechanic and you want to do all these things and open up this business, and I haven't seen you even breathe on a car in the last year. You see what I'm saying? Your heart's desires should have external factors that look like it points back to what you said you wanted. If you say you want it, where is it at visibly in your life right now? And let time frame be God's thing. His timing is perfect. That's a whole nother conversation for another video. But his time frame is perfect. Make sure that when he catches up or he catches you, in the meantime, you using your time correctly and you're working on that thing. You understand? Comment. Tell me that you understand what I'm trying to say, that you're going to pair with me. We're going to plan, but we're going to leave the outcomes alone. You understand? We're going to just have it where we usually put, I want this in this time frame. Ain't no, when I'm 30, I want this. And by the time I'm 50, I'm going to have this. And like, no, but so you saying he's any less God if he give it to you 2 years later or 6 years earlier? No, that's just when you said, I'll be ready to receive this. Why would you do that to yourself? Because you don't know your state of readiness the way that he knows. The Bible says he looks at our heart. Man looks at the outside. So you thinking when I finish school, when I lose that weight, when I go ahead and pay off that debt, and you got all these external worldly qualifications, and God is like, no, I anoint shepherds to be king. David, do you understand? Don't start me to preaching. You know how we do. Please don't get me hyped. I'm hyped. Don't, you understand? But comment, tell me that you're going to go ahead and make that commitment. Like this video, subscribe, share it with somebody, do all the YouTube things because we are here now. Yes? And you know I do this every week. Every Thursday is a video. Every Thursday there's a video. Because I'm going to prove that in the meantime, I'm working on it, right? But okay. I'm going to go ahead and let me go. We will talk later. Later.